Hi guys, it's Amy and this is Amy by Nature. How you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today is a little bonus video. I wanted to show you all what I have been up to. So let's get into this. The first thing I have been doing is I have been creating little placeholders. The Boo Bank. So we have the ones that have pumpkins. We have got two that have witches. We have got fives that have monsters. We have tens that are ghosts. And we have 20s that are scarecrows. So that is the money I will be using, the placeholders I'll be using, instead of cash for any of my fall and Halloween challenges. I have got these two scratch offs, and we have got Autumn in Scotland, and this one saves 55. Nothing goes beyond 10 with this one's. So that's Autumn in Scotland. And then we have got Autumn in the Highlands, and this is a save 70, and again nothing goes beyond a 10. That is that one, and if when you move it, it almost looks like the water's moving. It's so pretty. So that is a couple of autumn ones I have got. And then I have got some smaller scratch offs, and in the spirit of being Halloweeny, I've decided to leave it a mystery about how you won't know how much you save, but I will tell you that nothing, all the denominations are between 1 and 5. So our first one is these scarecrows, and they're in like these like old frames. I thought they were really cool. So we've got that one, and then we have got this scarecrow here, and then we have got our ghosts. They look like a happy bunch, and this ghost here, and then we have got this monster here. This is like something out of a comic book. I love this. And we have got this one here with all the monsters joining in the festivities. So that is my Halloween scratchers. And then I've got my new book. My new book is Samhain Savings. And this quote at the bottom, I know it's small, but it says, "The farther we've gotten from the magic and mystery of our past, the more we've come to need Halloween." And that was by Paula Curran. So I'm doing Samhain Savings. So our first one is Summer's End. In the entire circle of the year, there are no days so delightful as those of October. And Alexander Smith said that. So Summer's End. So there are 4 fire festivals. And Samhain is the biggest one. And it's the cross between life and death, essentially. This is when they bring in the harvest, and the whole point of Samhain is to start anew for the next year. And people would harvest all their things all their crops, and they would do all these festivities and rituals and things like that in order for them to have a good crop next year. So one of the things that they did was lighting the bonfire. So it is believed that whilst the people of the community were out harvesting their crops, they would leave their home hearths to burn down low and go out. They would then, once the harvesting was complete, they would then join with the Druid priests and light a community bonfire using a wheel that caused friction and sparks. And when they were going home, they would take a flame from the community bonfire to relight their home hearths. So that is that one. And this is one of my favourite ones. This is the story of Stingy Jack. So Stingy Jack, a notorious liar and just all round kind of, not bad, but he liked to drink and he liked to gamble and he liked to lie, and he was a bit of a bad boy. So anyway, one night he'd been out drinking, and he was on the edge of dying, and the devil came to get him because of his nefarious nature. The devil came to take him away to hell. And Jack, being Jack, turned round to the devil and said, "Can I have a few drinks? Can we go for a few drinks before you take me away?" The devil said, "Okay, let's go." So they had drinks, and Jack had no money to pay the bill, and neither did the devil. And Jack had turned round and said, "Why don't you just turn yourself into a coin and pay the bill, and then poof, you can turn back again. Problem solved." The devil was a bit unsure, but he kind of admired Jack's spirit for doing these sort of things. So he agreed, and he turned himself into a silver coin. And Jack put the coin in his pocket that happened to have a crucifix in his pocket, trapping the devil. And the only way the devil was released was that he agreed to leave Jack for 10 years, leave him alone for 10 years. So Jack went about his ways for the next 10 years, drinking and doing all the things he shouldn't be doing. And after 10 years, the devil came back, and Jack turned around and said, "Could I at least get an apple to eat for my starving stomach before you take me away?" And the devil agreed, and he climbed a tree to pick an apple for Jack. And after he did so, Jack quickly drew a cross in the tree, trapping the devil. And the only way he would allow the devil, he would get rid of the cross, is if the devil told him to never, ever let him into hell. Never take him, never let him into hell. The devil agreed. And Jack let him down. So in time, the alcoholism got to him and Jack died. And he went up to the pearly gates where they refused him entry because of the way he lived his life. So he went back down. He went down to hell. And the devil said, "I'm true to my word. I'm never letting you in here." So Jack had nowhere to go. The devil gave him an ember in a hollowed out turnip, and he was forced to walk between the two places with nothing but this ember for all eternity. So originally, instead of pumpkins, it was turnips that they would hollow out and put a candle in, and people would put them in their windows in order to keep disgruntled spirits like Jack away from them. So I love that story. I didn't tell it very well, but I love that story. So the next one we've got is dumb supper. So a dumb supper is a way of hosting your ancestors, and the table would be all laid out in black where possible, with nothing but candles for lighting, and they would use apples and like fall vegetables and game if they had it, and they would lay out this supper, but it would all be done in silence, hence the word dumb is as in silence, not as in stupid. And this was a way of welcoming their ancestors into their homes by familiar smells and things like that. So it was a way of communicating and respecting their ancestors. And then we've got soul cakes. Soul cakes they could be shortbread, they could be little fruit tarts, just little biscuits or cakes that people would bake. And again, it was a sign of respect for their ancestors, for their spirits that would come on the eve, the 31st, and beggars would come round the houses and offer to say prayers for the people's relatives that had passed, and they would say a prayer for them, and they would be given these soul cakes in exchange. And then when it changed from more pagan to Christian, the Christian church took on this tradition and used to give them out to people travelling that stopped by monasteries and things like that, in order to feed the weary travellers. And then we have guising. Now, this is what we call trick-or-treating, is guising. We used to go guising. So originally, what they thought was, although it was a festival to celebrate the ancestors and the harvest and all these things, there were spirits that roamed they didn't have good intentions. So in order to confuse these spirits and not be whisked away by them, people would dress up in costumes and wear grotesque masks. And they would go door to door around their village or wherever they were and collect food for the big feast. And that is where they reckon that today's trick-or-treating originated from. And then we have got the cat Sith. The cat Sith is a fairy-like creature, or cat-like fairy creature, who could bless or curse your year ahead. So people would leave a saucer of milk outside their door for the cat Sith, and those who did were blessed, and those that did not, their crops would die and bad things would happen in that respect. So that is one of the beliefs. There are so many things that I could have put in here. And then, again, it's all about celebrating nature and harvest and respecting and celebrating your ancestors. So they used to say prayers and blessings, and one of them, this is have a blessed Samhain, and may the turning of the year bring you strength and joy. Call upon the past and celebrate as the veil thins between the worlds. Honour yourself, Mother Earth, and your relations. So that is my Samhain savings book. And I've also been toying with, I have gathered quite a bit of information on some of the most haunted places in Scotland, and I wanted to create maybe a book or something that incorporates that, and it'll have like a little story about the ghosts that haunt the places, etc. If you guys are at all interested in anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I would, even if I'm so tempted to make it for myself, and maybe I might not get around to it till next year, but I love the idea and I love learning about all these, the history and everything. So if you're interested, I will make one up. I've got 7 places, so there will be 7 pages that are, and it's not all just castles. There's lots of history and ghostly goings-ons in Scotland, and I would love to be able to share that with you, but only if you guys are interested. I know not everyone is as history, like I really love history, but if you guys are interested, please let me know. So that is what I've been up to. I'm sorry about the rambling. I've been so excited to show you what I've been doing. So please like, comment, subscribe and share. And until I see you again, guys, take care. Bye.